Spring is in the air. E3 is around the corner, you guys. It's a good time to be into video games.
Yes, it is. You know, it's hard to believe, but once there was a time not so long ago where video games didn't exist.
No, I mean, that must have been a really dark and sad time.
Yes, Jeff, it
was.
I mean, what would people do back then?
Well, I hear that they would often congregate around a box with moving pictures, yet they could not control what happens on the screen. All they could do was sit and watch.
I mean, there was no D-pad, no analog stick, no mouse, no A button?
Nothing. No. In those days, Jeff, role-playing games meant having to dress up in other people's clothes.
Wow, you know, I guess now is a great time to be into video games.
Yes. All the intensity of a trade paperback comes to Xbox. No, it's not a stealth thriller based on the South Beach diet. It's Splinter Cell Chaos Theory.
And if you love cute furry animals and the silent vacuum of space, ready your TiVo, because we're going to talk about Star Fox Assault.
Plus, id co-owner and CEO Todd Hollinshead talks up Doom 3 for the Xbox because G4 TV, the show that can't handle carrying a gun and a flashlight at the same time, starts right now.
Cheers.
Hey, everybody out there.
Welcome to the show.
To another episode of G4 TV, the show that lets gamers do the talking, except, of course, when three of us won't let anyone else get a word in.
Laura.
You know how it is.
Yeah.
Anyway, you guys play a lot of video games. How was your week?
Had a great week.
It was a great week. I actually went and saw Sin City. I think a lot of people on the board were talking about. Did you see it?
Yes, absolutely. No, I love that film. That
Great
was fantastic. Well, I didn't know what to expect, but it was, you know, so true to the comic, I think, which I'd read a couple of the comics.
Yep.
But when you see I just thought the acting was great. Like my favorite, Mickey
Bruce
Rourke.
Willis.
No, but Mickey Rourke I thought was great. I thought I loved his
Oh.
character, Marv. I thought that was fantastic. The whole look and feel of the film was great, and it was, you know, that was my favorite story, actually. I think the Mickey Rourke story.
Yeah,
with
it was
Goldie.
just so beautiful. There was so much talk about it on the boards and just in the office. Gamers, you know, rushing out to see this film. I was like, I gotta go check it out. Every single shot, beautiful. And I gotta admit, it was scary at times. I wish I had someone there to hold my hand.
It got a little
frightening.
Did you see my boy Benicio? He did good.
He was great. I didn't recognize him.
I know, because they all had prosthetics on, especially Mickey Rourke and stuff. But it was fantastic. Frank Miller, what a great job writing. He had also written the sequels to RoboCop. Yeah. Not quite as well, but this he also got a chance to sort
and
of
he's doing
direct
the next Batman film. I mean, a career to be envied of. So I guess the three of us are all in agreement.
Yeah, it was a great film.
Sin City, 2 thumbs up.
Check it out. We only hope there'll be a video game soon.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's not far behind.
I don't know, but speaking of video games, anyways, guys, let's turn from the world of sin to the world of spies. Of course, Splinter Cell Chaos Theory is what I'm talking about. It's the latest Sam Fisher stealth game from Ubisoft. This one just came out, and it features some amazing co-op multiplayer modes. And Sam even has a knife now. He can do new stealth kills. It's a great game. I mean, there have been a lot of Splinter Cells in the past couple of years.
Yeah,
but this one is
people are
great
talking about
graphics
it.
and stuff, and it's I think it's a great game.
Well, Jeff, we hunted down Brent Farmer from Kissimmee, Florida. He wrote into our boards, multiplayer, just like in Pandora Tomorrow, is probably the most amazing aspect of the game. It's addictively strategic and incredibly fun. So, Brent, you on the line with us?
Yeah.
All right, we'll ask you, is co-op the future of multiplayer, do you think?
I think it is, yeah. It's incredibly more strategic than just a bunch of players in a single arena blasting everything that moves.
Yeah.
Do you sort of play with your friends? You just go online and find random people? Because I think it's much better when you're playing with someone you actually know, right, in co-op?
Yeah, it's a lot better when you're playing with a friend that you can trust and...
Don't do a
There's
quick
some
knife
cool
stab.
moves you can do in this. But I like, the co-op, you can do cool things where, you need to work with another guy to lift you over sort of a certain, canyon or something, or there's a thing where you can even throw each other at things. And I mean, there are actual puzzles that you have to use to play that way. So, I mean, did you play through the single player that way, or you just played some of the special, because, you can do co-op in some of the single player missions as well, or you can do it on the separate missions. What did you do? Right.
I played it a lot at first with co-op, and then I started playing single player.
Okay.
What did you think of this single player? I know everyone's giving it rave reviews, but personally, I found it a little less than my expectations were.
Ooh.
I know.
Did you like, I think... No, but the question is, do you like stealth games? Because I think, Brent, I mean, did you like the previous 2 Splinter Cells?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Splinter Cell and Metal Gear Solid.
And Lauren, did you like the previous 2?
I don't like stealth.
See, that's I agree with you. I think that the thing about this game is it's really hard to get into, I think, if you haven't played the previous Splinter Cells and you don't like that style of game.
I appreciate it as a quality game.
I think the third game is a lot easier to get into than the first 2 games.
It is, but if you're not into stealth, there's still a lot of difficulty.
It's just the style of gameplay. Do you like the trial and error sort of style of stealth gameplay? And Brent, I mean, you're saying is this your favorite type of game, or these stealth games?
Yes, I just like the strategic gameplay that's involved.
I agree. It's so like objective oriented. I love the multiplayer spies and the mercenaries, and everyone has different objectives, and I just think it's fantastic. The lighting, the graphics. Now, I originally started playing this on the PS2, and it froze on me twice in the first 20 minutes, and then I popped it in the Xbox.
Actually, Brent, you probably played on Xbox, I expect, right?
Yes, of course.
No, I think the Xbox is, by far sort of the best version. I mean, the graphics on this with some water effects and stuff. I mean, it's one of the best looking Xbox games, I think. But yeah, the PS2 version, I think, is somewhat disappointing. Have you seen that, Brent, that PS2 version?
Yes, I watched a friend of mine play it on the PS2, and it was painful to watch him play that.
And that's pretty unbelievable because it is the same game, and people need to know that it's a significantly different game if you're going to play it on the on the PS2 versus the Xbox, even the game.
Ubisoft's been guilty of that. I think Brothers in Arms was another thing where the Xbox version was fantastic, and then the PS2 version was not nearly as good. So it's a game like this where it's all about the lighting and the graphics to some degree.
Right.
You've got to play it on Xbox.
I'm asking you which game you preferred.
This. I think this is just a stellar game. I think it's great. I think it absolutely owns the stealth genre. I think it was a fantastic, absolutely committed to exactly what it is. There's no game like this where you can play a spy and really truly feel like you're a top secret agent. That's exactly how I feel about this game. I love it.
It definitely set the bar for all future stealth games in my mind.
He agrees.
All right. Well, thank you, Brent. Thank you very much. Some people like it, some people don't.
You're wrong about it.
I could be wrong. We waited 8 years, you guys, for a decent sequel, so don't try to tell me you can't wait one more commercial break, because sit right where you are. Right after this, it's Star Fox Assault, a decent game.
Really? We think. I don't know.
Talk about a waste of money.
Hey everybody, I'm Kevin Pereira. I once was a PA at the network getting balance bars and coffee, and then one day in the lunchroom, an executive producer for another show called Arena asked me if I had any interest in being on camera. And I looked around and I didn't see a couch. It felt safe, and I said, yes, I'd love to be.
Made me do.
What's the deal with having to buy a new sports game every year? I mean, shouldn't it just auto-update and stuff?
This is Kim calling from New York City. I'm a New York City police officer, and I gotta tell you, PSP, everybody in the department loves it.
You guys gave The Punisher a really bad review. That game rules, and I wish I could come down there and punish you guys and interrogate you, hold guns to your head, and then take a drill press and drill your eye and stuff, then dip in chrome bath, because you guys are bitches.
Rated M for mature, I think.
What do you think our bosses do to us every time we do bad on a show and give wrong information? Yeah.
I'm scared afterwards.
I like to see people are passionate about this.
But I like the guy representing New York, by the way. All the best girls are from Brooklyn.
Yeah, you're just trying to show your breasts, aren't you?
That's what I'm trying
That's Laura's way of showing her breasts on television.
You know how I am. All right, people. So anyway, Team Star Fox, yes, it's back with their most intense combat yet. Some say J-Lo is a triple threat, but screw that, because Star Fox is attacking by plane, Tina, tank, and foot.
Unfortunately.
It's a good game. Now, I know a lot of people out there have some issues, and some people like my two co-hosts, but personally, I find the game, yes, agreed, simplistic, but fun and exciting and action-packed.
This is someone who doesn't like the latest Splinter Cell game, Chaos Theory.
I mean, to me, this is a game.
Do you know what stealth is, by the way? It's part of the game.
Jeff's talking.
No, but guys, we'll have to see. Maybe we have someone on the board who posted about it. Let's go to that. It was Rob Turner from Tacoma, Washington. He said it felt like nostalgia all over again. He liked this game, traversing through enemies and against the first boss. It felt not much different from Star Fox 64. I was hooked. Well, Rob, we got you on the line, so I got to be honest with you, Rob. I wasn't hooked. Didn't you find, the ground missions just to be annoying?
Not at all. I enjoyed them.
Thank you, Rob.
But what about the controls? Like in that tank, when you were controlling that tank, I can't even control that tank in that. But you had fun doing that?
Yeah, I just got used to it. After a couple of tries, you can actually set up control settings, maybe third-person play or first-person, and you can just go with it.
Rob, there's a little bit of a learning curve, which apparently Jeff and Tina don't have patience for.
No, but it's just there's so many better games. The flight stuff I think is good, but doing this ground stuff, like Star Fox Adventures that Rare did a couple years ago was a great game. I really love that game. Rob, did you like that game?
You mentioned Zelda RPG-ish. I didn't like it that much, but the music was great. The story was all right, but I've had some control issues with it.
No, this is a great game.
You control issues with that and not with this game?
Yeah.
Wow.
No, this is a great game if you go into a store and, like, say there's nothing on the shelf and it's just that and it's the only game left, then I'd pick it up and play it.
You can't say that. The game is fun. Like, I understand that, Tina, you told me earlier you're having a little bit of weirdness because the aiming system sort of re-gravitates itself towards the center, and that's a little bit awkward for someone who's used to, like, Halo and stuff like that. So I can see that it's not initially what you, like, might be drawn to, but give it a little bit more time.
But it's competent. But, like, this year with, like, Resident Evil, Mercenaries, I mean, so many great games come out so far this year. I just feel it's like, I mean, Rob, do you feel it's too kind of kiddie? I mean, it's like this reinforces this kind of stereotype in Nintendo that it's just like these kiddie games that they keep doing, or that you're not bothered by that?
Honestly, I've grown up with Nintendo. I have no troubles with it at all. I mean, it's just something you get used to. I mean, all these other games, they try something else, and it changes too much, and you want to enjoy a game, not lose that feeling of, hey, you know, you grow up with that game. You know, I like to see them develop it more. Maybe if it's online, you can actually create your own character, design it maybe next time. But this one, you got like a sci-fi story there.
I think, like Jeff made a great point, it's a great game for those who aren't old enough to pick up the Resident Evils of the world, right?
Well, honestly, I mean, Rob, you don't just have a GameCube. I mean, you have a PS2 and an Xbox as well, right?
Yeah.
And you would really, I mean, you'd play this game over something like Splinter Cell or some of the other great games on the other systems right now?
I gotta be honest, I just like Splinter Cell. Here's why. Okay, it's a bit complicated.
We're friends.
Wait, it's a bit complicated. The storyline is just the same thing over and over again.
Right.
And online play is the only thing you can enjoy, just like Halo. And there's nothing else to build up after that.
Wow.
Well,
So Star Fox over Splinter Cell. This is a headline. Rob, let's get back to Star Fox for a second. I mean, you've been a fan of the franchise obviously for a while. I mean, do you think this really measures up to the franchise? I mean, the good old, I remember, the old first Star Fox with the special, chip that Nintendo brought out with it.
Yes.
Right. I mean, so you were a fan of that game, right?
Yeah, I was.
Absolutely. And this one you think is just as good as that?
I'd say it's like a remake of the N64. It like builds up. It's like a sequel, direct. Like when you're watching a movie in the theaters and you see a sequel, the DVDs, you're like, oh, okay.
He likes the game. You're not.
I don't know.
He's looking frustrated.
But to me, I'm just frustrated because it's been such a great year for games.
Yes.
It's like, on GameCube, Resident Evil, lots of other great games. I just feel this is a competent game. It's not bad, but it's just like.
Well, I love your passion.
I'm with him right here because that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's of the caliber game of the year. I'm just saying it's
You spend your $50 on this game?
I rented it, actually.
I would rent it.
Oh, you rented it. Okay.
It's a rental.
Thank you for the
We
call.
agree with that.
But I ain't renting no split
Zip it.
Like
Thank you for the call. We appreciate it.
Rob, I appreciate the opinion. You're a smart guy.
Have a good taping, guys.
After the break, we are chatting with id Software co-owner and CEO Todd Hollinshead about Doom 3 and its jump to the Xbox. Why no PS2 love? Because that system sucks. I'm kidding.
You're kidding.
I'm kidding. I'm trying to get to the Sony party. I'm kidding. You gotta watch to find out. I'm joking.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
You're plugged into G4.
I have two games that I go back to every day. The very first original Zelda on the NES and the original Sonic the Hedgehog on the Sega. Best games ever.
Want to join our vocal LAN party here at G4 TV? Then head over to G4TVTheShow.com and post your opinions under the Want to Be a Caller thread. And if that doesn't fulfill you, sign up for the newsletter. Yay! Each week, all the information about our show is going to go out in a newsletter. You'll get via email. So I say sign up if you really want to get your dose of G4 TV.
We are really moving up in the world.
Yes. Naked pictures of Jeff.
time.
I know. Did you see that one where crazy?
Guys, I don't know. We got to move on to the interview now. We'll talk about that later. But anyways, welcome back to the show, everybody. Now, these days, there are few developers that carry the clout of a company like id Software. The creators of Doom and Quake, of course. Well, this week, id is finally bringing Doom 3 to the Xbox. And joining us live on the phone from id headquarters in Texas is Todd Hollinshead, the president of id. Hey, Todd, what's up? Welcome to the show.
Well, we got a lot of stuff going on here with Doom 3 coming out for the Xbox, and of course, Resurrection of Evil, the expansion pack for Doom 3 for the PC out this week. So it's been
getting us plugs in just like that.
It's been high five times here.
Exciting.
Yeah, well, that's great. I mean, the one thing about Doom 3 Xbox, people obviously knew it came out on the PC last year, and now you have the Xbox version. But one thing you decided not to do was port it to PS2. Now, can you explain sort of why you went for Xbox and not PS2?
We did take a look at both PS2 and the GameCube in terms of bringing Doom 3 to the other console platforms, and we just weren't going to be able to keep all of the features that we felt made Doom 3 such a compelling experience on GameCube or PlayStation 2. So
right, and what a great decision. I mean, not to bag on the PS2, but just graphically and stuff, the game, Doom 3 is just such a great-looking game technically and stuff. But, Todd, as you talk about that, I played it on the PC. Are we going to see anything different if I pick up an Xbox copy?
Well, there's quite a few new things actually between the Xbox version and the PC version. First of all, and probably most notably for cooperative campaign fans, is that there's all new cooperative campaign. It's sort of like I don't know, maybe like a director's cut action highlights, if you want to think of it like that. Through the most intense action of the game, we've made a bunch of changes to where the game is suited for 2 players as opposed to just sort of 1 player. It does change the atmosphere from sort of foreboding, spooky, really adventure through terror of the single-player experience, and more of like just no holds barred, mow down the demons in front of you, pick it and take names kind of approach.
Run and gun stuff coming at us.
Now, Todd, you're obviously pleased with the PC version, as I think we all were as well. How do you feel about the Xbox version now that you're finished? Did it accomplish everything you wanted it to?
Actually, I think that the Xbox version Doom 3 exceeded any of the expectations we had set out for it when we started on the project. We've always been known sort of as a PC first or a PC-centric development team, and kind of focused on the console secondly. But we took a different approach with Doom 3 for the Xbox, which is to put the game for the Xbox in development at the same time that we were working on the PC project here at id, and worked with the developer Vicarious Visions at the same time we were actually building the PC game. John Carmack is a technical mastermind, and really targeted the Xbox platform early on for Doom 3 as a full visual impact platform.
Now, you mentioned Carmack there, Todd, and I wanted to ask you, everyone obviously is always curious, what is Carmack working on? I mean, Ed, you guys are working on a new franchise, brand new IP, right? I mean, what's next for you guys?
It's not going to be Wolf or Doom or Quake. It'll be a new brand.
Sci-fi, though, or?
It's really even too early to tell at this point. We're still going through the proof of concept phase internally, but it will be. John has committed to writing an all-new rendering engine, so it'll be brand new rendering technology, and all the good that entails for PC fans, and all the learning curve it entails for our designers here at the id side.
Thanks for joining us.
Sure, thank you.
Okay,
have a great one. All right, well, now for the most anticipated segment of all time. It's Lip Zzz, Sweetest 5 presented by Juicy Fruit. Love that Lip Zzz. Hey, bringing up the rear is Need for Speed Underground at number 5. Number 4 is the world's most downloaded mod, Counter-Strike. At 3, Halo. Halo, everybody. The number 2 spot is dominated by Unreal Tournament 2004, and Lip Zz's favorite game of all time is E.T. No, I'm just kidding, Warcraft 3. Tune in next week for your opinions on SWAT 4 and Doom 3. Plus, we've stalked the boys at BioWare for a little chat about Jade Empire. Our show premieres every Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific.
That's right, so make sure to tune in. Now, Jeff, everywhere I go, people follow me around. Well,
naturally.
Yeah, most of
course.
Justina.
Yeah.
But anyway, this year, we're going to give 2 lucky viewers the chance to follow us all around at E3. Yep. Every year, people are asking us to get them into this industry-only Disneyland for gamers. So finally, we're going to do it. And you're going to be reported for us on our show. All you have to do is send us a tape telling us why we should take you and not your friend to E3. So just head on over to g4tvtheshow.com and click on Take Me to E3. Sell yourself to us. Go, send the tapes, hit it up. If you want to be at E3, now's your chance.
You're going to get a bunch of tapes of people going, I think you should take me and not my friend Ryan because...
That's what I want.
Yeah, exactly. All right, every now and then, some rumors circulate around the gaming community. We, as gaming enthusiasts, are here to put a stop to them in a segment called Believe Us or Don't. Now, the way it works, each of us are going to read a rumor, and the caller is going to have an opportunity to believe us or don't. What they're going to get if they win... I'm a player shirt. Pretty cool, right? Jeff, why don't you start us off? What's going on in the room?
All right, well, we got Matt on the phone here from Wrightsville, Pennsylvania. Hey, Matt, what's up?
Waiting, I'm ready.
All right, ready. Here's the rumor right now. Believe me or don't. Here we go. Earlier this week, Paris Hilton was spotted walking around Los Angeles with her PSP in one hand and her dog in another. Now, later that day, Nintendo sent her a cease and desist letter because she is supposed to be a spokesperson for the Nintendo DS. Do you believe me or don't?
I don't believe you because I would have known by now she was a spokesperson. I remember she did some things with gaming, like she was in the premiere of Soul Calibur 2 way back when.
Right. You follow her career, Matt. This is what I like. But you're right. That is false, actually. She was spotted with the PSP, but she's impartial. She
you get a T-shirt. Jeff, it's
right,
you're a bad liar.
I know.
Team is good at it.
Yeah,
anyway, we ready up? I think we got the next call online. Chris, are you with me?
Yes.
Chris from Columbus. Ready? Here's Believe Us or Don't. Star Wars fans, listen up. If you want to see more than 10 minutes of exclusive movie footage from Episode 3 2 weeks before the movie releases, all you have to do is buy the Episode 3 video game on May 5th. Chris, believe me or don't?
I believe that is true.
See, I'm good at telling the truth. Chris, you're getting some swag.
We haven't stumped anyone yet, but we'll see if Tina can do it.
All right.
One more, Tina.
We got Jonathan Klein. Here is the question. Rumors are out there about the name of the next Xbox, Jonathan. Everyone thinks it will be called Xbox 360, but sources close to Microsoft tell me personally it's going to have a different name. It's going to be called Xbox Extreme. Do you believe me or don't?
I'm not quite sure. I think it's going to be called Xbox 360 because I've heard some rumors too.
Are you saying that I'm lying?
Believe her or don't, it's not. It's an either or. What do you think?
You're right. I'm a liar. You get free T-shirts. Looks like it's going to be.
We couldn't stump anybody this week.
We couldn't. But really quick too, you guys. Before we throw out the break, the Doom 3 Collector's Edition is out, and it's got on the back. It says behind the scenes of Doom 3, a G4 video game TV icons feature. Very excited. Pick it up. Good G4 kudos. And also, you want more on Frank Miller? Check out Icons as well. Go to the Icons homepage. Fantastic.
You're
Icons.
pimping all the G4 shows this week.
You're all about the plugs, but listen, believe us or don't, we are actually out of time. I know it's sad, but we want to thank our guests, the mastermind Todd Hollinshead, all the callers, all the message boards posters, and of course that really great game, Star Fox Assault, even though these guys know nothing about it. This is not my...
It's crazy, guys. Get in the fight.
I will
Some better games next week, maybe.
This August, X-Play's got game as Adam and Morgan travel the globe bringing you the biggest gaming conventions in the world.
You want to see them, and we've got them.
Starting with G4's fan-favorite award show, G4ia. Then on to Germany's Leipzig, Europe's battleground for console domination. And PAX, Washington's huge indie gamer culture party.
We just got done playing Metal Gear Solid 4. I gotta say, this is now one of the must-have games.
This August, X-Play's got game, starting with G4ia Thursday at 8. Part of G4's Stay Out of the Sun Summer.